Hi, my name is Tam, and we'll start my presentation. So this is the ornamental drawing that I did. Our site is at Tokachel and focusing on ceramics. The pattern of drawing are combined and merged by different motif of Thai ceramic, and I call it as the eyes of flower because it seemed to be like an eyes with different flower inside. So my initial concept is Dokachao are surrounded by river, pier, garden, and flora, which is inspired me that all of these natural environments can make a connection with a lot of patterns, especially for flora produce a large amount of pattern on Thai ceramic. So the middle shape are the main focus of the drawing, kind of like two ellipse shape combined together with two pointed ends and Thai Banjaran pattern in repetitive and flora pattern because this shape can mainly found in the Thai Banjaran motif and repetition of this shape from small to big are divided into four parts of Banjaran motif. The components of every motif apply separately at the external part of the shape, and the shape developed from the pattern of Banjaran with different type of motif which are Pin, Tiku, Kantodok, Kakot, Kradanga, Chakri, and the flower wave pattern represent the river on site. For the sketches development, from very scattered drawing and then develop into current drawing, which is more harmonious with all the different motifs. For my ornamental building element, it's more like a futuristic modern ornament with some artistic element. Pattern is developed and modified from the conceptual drawing and flower pattern as the main of the ornament, that every motif of the Thai Pinjarong have the flora pattern same as for Dokacha, which is surrounded by flora. The flora pattern design in repetition and symmetrical to make it look more harmonious. Building element, I get the idea and inspired by kaleidoscope, which same as the ornament drawing. Their draw have the similar effect that more object mirror effect in an angle seen as a symmetrical pattern and repeated reflection. From my perspective, it gives the outdoor space the feel of an art gallery. The kinetic aspect of the design, whereby the flower motif changes as it's open and shut, looks like a flower blooming in a vertical way, showing the ornament matching and blends perfectly with the surrounding natural environment. It shows different patterns when rotate and fold itself in any angle, creating art or sculptural masterpiece without the use of drag. The crafted design allows the kinetic sculpture and mobile to respond to subtle changes in the wind. This motion is symbolic of the change we experience in our own life, that reminding us that sometimes change can be a beautiful thing and as a new way of taking a fresh look at nature. Moving on is the axonometric drawing of building elements. I draw it in manual together with human skill. The skill is 1 to 35. It shows the sequences of how ornament open and close. Next is the ornament model in skill 1 to 10. I make it with clay material and the decorative glass represent the flower patterns. And then at the right side are the mock-up models development progress. Moving on is the mechanism that apply on model with the clay material, showing in sequences. Pictures show the model making process and the design development. Moving on to craft central proposal. So this is the design brief collage. My initial intention is to focus on high flower pattern on ceramic to let more people know about the beauty of flower patterns. It's a collage that's full of imagination. So I imagine like people was being taken into another space, another world that is full of the knowledge, information, and culture of different Thai flower patterns. The middle one, a square spiral with circle as a door entrance to space, is a combination of Thai flower pattern and a real flower pattern, they have a three different level of stairways. It means like the more you go down, the more you can see different type of Thai flower pattern. Each stairway have the motif in on it, and the real flower on each stairway represent the motif flower. I have did some research and study about the real flower on Thai ceramic motif. Help me further development of my program. The flower which are the lotus, jasmine, and daisies flower that apply on different motifs. And the bottom part is the example of porcelain ware from different flower pattern Thai motif. And the other three types are orchid, ylang flower, and the lattice pattern. And the research and study of how flower grow. The side plan of Dokachao, purple highlighted part is the side boundary. Moving on, the site synthesis of Dokachao, because my program consider mobile plantation, so the surrounding environment is an important element for me to develop. Start from the bottom left, which is the vegetation plantation area, mainly planting nipa palm and reservoir. Vegetation at this area help to reduce and prevent soil pollution, and this area is a wetland which bring a lot of benefit to the environment, like for water purification, flood control, climate regulation. Next is the healthy environment and ecosystem around the river and forest. Well-managed forests and river may vastly improve otherwise highly urban landscape, biodiversity enhancement, and adaptation to climate change within a city environment. Following by the lively community, the site attract a lot of people, whether from locals or tourists, create a lively community, which people can have a lot of activities from the pier going through the flower gardens. And the site is a livability area which residents can easily access to the site by bike or walk, especially for a short walking distance from the housing area. Some people living in floating house nearby the site can also access to the site by boat. Lastly are the flower landscape, which also bring a lot of benefits to site, like provide fresh and clean air, as flowers are highly effective air cleaners, and temperature control, which planting flower reduce heat and provide cooler temperature to the site. And for programmatic diagram, I start doing in relationship diagram first to see the connection within the space. So the main focus program is type flower pattern on ceramics to revise the pattern to protect it from extinction. And then from this area connected to the community and greenery area. These are the detailed part of Thai flower pattern on ceramic program. Is the main focus program and divided into six parts. Start from the top right part are the production of making ceramic, which divided into two spaces. Making by machine modern way and by handmade traditional way. And then moving on to workshop studio, also divided into two spaces, which are making ceramic workshop and design workshop for draw and paint flower pattern. Ceramic workshop let people know the pottery making technique. And for design painting workshop, people can experience the whole design process from sketch of the flower pattern to finished product. And then move on to vertical flower garden is for a real experience. People can actually looking at the real flower from the high motif rather than imagine it to draw and carve into their design on ceramic. Next is the exhibition gallery of ceramic flower pattern and motif to show like the historical information of Thai pattern, flower type or motif, the origin or maybe ceramic pattern on Thai royal family, and then have a store for selling ceramic product. And the last creative DIY area of Thai flower pattern, like people can DIY flower pattern on different material. Example like on canvas bag, rock painting on recycled material like plastic bottle, glass, aluminium, can and more. And then moving on the programmatic and spatial planning diagram. So the main entrance at the pier that people need to take boat to access to the site. And there's a boat dock area and the second entrance from the housing area. The purple highlighted part are the lively zone, which are the main program area. Blue part for relaxing and leisure zone, and the light green part for healthy zone. Then for existing building, I have reminded some like the sunset bar plus the dining area for the community. Vertical garden partition wall have the connection and interaction with the proposed program, which are the outdoor workshop. And the Dokachel Tower, which is the vertical planting system as the structure of tower have also interaction and connection to the indoor vertical garden, which people can actually looking at the real flower from the tower and then draw and cut the design on ceramic. Orange part is the pedestrian circulation and all places are actually connected together at the site. And the bike trail at the plantation area which has a healthy environment for people bike and walk in this area. And there's the important view at the main entrance like bike trail area which people can uh, view and enjoy the scenic environment that's surrounded by river, forest, and city. Uh, so yeah, that's all from me. Thank you.